Be comfortable.
Please introduce yourself. Rajib.
Sir, I am LOCHAN DIKSHIT from Bhubaneswar. I have completed my BTech in Civil Engineering from Gandhi Engineering College in 2016. Then I have worked as a site engineer in Maitri Infra at Rayagada district of Odisha. I quit my job in 2017 due to some family issues. Since then I have been preparing for civil services.
You have chosen public administration as your optional subject.
Yes, sir.
Now, you must have heard the name of Max Weber.
Yes, sir.
So, what did Max Weber write about bureaucracy? Why did he consider bureaucracy to be the best form of governance?
Sir, at the time of Max Weber, it was generally the spoil system at work, and there was no basic meaning of bureaucracy. And bureaucracy is associated as a negative term. Max Weber gave a concept of ideal bureaucracy, that bureaucracy can play an active role and predictable role in society, which will lead to better development of society as a whole.
Because of what? How it can play a better role and how can be very effective?
Yes, sir.
What are the
Characteristics.
major characteristics of
Yes, sir.
bureaucracy?
Max Weber's ideal bureaucracy's characteristics are bureaucracy is framed by rule of law and hierarchy based. There is a chain of command to be followed, which brings consistency in approach. Also merit based principles that
Selection is
yes,
merit based. Okay.
yes, sir.
So one is rules and regulations,
Yes, sir.
hierarchy, then merit based selection, and there was a fourth thing he said. One more thing he said.
Career based civil service and,
Okay. So
and written records that rules and
okay,
regulations.
that will all follow that. Okay, rules and regulations.
Yes, sir.
You have messed up just on one. Just one.
Rationality, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
What do you understand by rationality?
Sir, at that time the industrialization in Europe was big. So
You explain to me what is rationality.
okay, sir. So rationality is
What is rationality?
rationality is thinking in a structured manner, that is
What is that?
the pros and cons of a thing, and analyze it on the basis of objectivity, and
Thank you.
analyzing a thing on the basis of objectivity and eliminating subjectivity.
Oh, wonderful. Very, very good answer. It's a very, very good answer. Now tell me, in the current affairs, let me ask you a couple of questions. One is on the Unified Pension Scheme.
Okay, sir.
What is that Unified Pension Scheme?
Sir, Unified Pension Scheme is a next step from new pension scheme that is introduced in 2004.
What are the features?
Here government, central government generally want to give a guarantee to the pensioners that 50% of their last done salary can be taken as pension.
Is it last 12 salary or average of the last 12 months?
Sorry, sir, it's average of last 12 months.
You are a good candidate.
Sorry,
You are a very, very good candidate. So, you know, in the original pension scheme in which I am a beneficiary,
yes, sir.
it was last paid.
Yes, sir.
So that is why it is called a mixture of OPS and
NPS. Yes, sir.
Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Tell me next how.
And there is a contribution from employees 10%, and the government contribution was 14% in NPS, but here additional 4.5% is to be expected.
Super.
Yes, so
Anything else?
yes, and can I add something? Because before that also UPS, I think Andhra Pradesh government has.
No, forget about
Okay,
that.
it's okay.
You come to the scheme. You are absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
10%, 18.5%. Tell me, what is the minimum?
Minimum, sir.
Minimum
I'm
pension?
not aware.
10,000.
Yes, sir.
Minimum is 10,000.
Yes, sir.
And what is the minimum number of years?
25 years, sir, I think.
Minimum is 10.
Okay, sir.
You get full thing after 25 years.
Okay, sir.
ଆପଣ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଟିକେ ନୋଟ୍ କରି ରଖିଥିବେ
Okay, sir.
ବୁଝିଲେ
Yes.
तीनटा फीचर कले बाकी जहाँ सब फीचर्स कहते ना कौन कहते पांच छटा पॉइंट के रखीदे then you know
Okay, sir.
the moment they ask you about it, the moment you say all the points correctly, it forms a very good.
Okay, sir.
If you have said this whole thing, 6 things correctly, immediately the marks for you is set at 60.
Okay,
Then it will move up. The mind is, so that is, let me come to the Indian Constitution. Okay. So the Indian Constitution has some very interesting provisions for positive discrimination.
Yes, sir.
What are these positive discrimination and which article refers to that?
Sir, positive discrimination comes from Article 16
Wonderful.
and subclause 4 and 5. So
Okay. Wonderful.
it leads to
Only 4 and 5? No, nothing, no more subclause? What is the latest subclause?
so the EWS
That
one
is 16.6.
16.6, sir.
Okay.
So it leads to the there is a state can positively discriminate against the strong towards the poor, that poor and the basically the vulnerables. Yeah.
Scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC.
OBCs, sir.
OBC, what is the percentage for OBC?
It's 27%.
27%. Now, a very important Supreme Court judgment upheld this. Which was that judgment?
It was Indra Sahni judgment.
What are the features of the judgment?
So the Indra Sahni judgment pointed out that there should be a creamy layer that that a certain after a certain amount of annual income.
What is that?
It is 8 lakhs
Now.
or now. Yes, sir.
Okay. So they will not be considered.
They will not be considered.
So in a recent judgment, again the Supreme Court has made some observations. What is that?
So it is that extension of that creamy layer concept to the SC and ST reservation.
Okay. Is it a judgment or a suggestion?
I think it's an observation, sir.
Okay. Very good. And what is the judgment? What is the judgment?
So the
This is Supreme Court
judgment, sir, I am not aware of, but
subclassification.
so yes, sir,
Subclassification. That's a judgment that
Okay,
they are now making subclassification for,
power to states.
within the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe.
Yes, sir. The power to states has been given.
Yeah, that will be given to the state. So that is a major.
Yes, sir.
The Supreme Court has also struck down the electoral bond scheme, EBS.
Yes, sir.
So why did they do that?
So in electronic bond scheme, the Supreme Court basically
Not electoral.
electoral bond scheme, the Supreme Court basically gave a on the basis of that, does the electoral funding is transparent or not?
Okay.
The government side's argument was that if we make the electoral bond transparent, then there will be vendetta politics. But Supreme Court rejected that argument and told that transparency should be the first priority. And
second, there was something else also.
the company laws and
No, they were all amended.
yes.
One is transparency. Up to this, you are absolutely right. There is something else also they said. One is transparency. The other thing is very important. The voters have a right to know.
Yes, sir.
That's a fundamental right.
Yes, sir.
It comes under right to.
Article 19. Sir.
It comes under Article 21, not 19. 19 is freedom.
Okay, sir.
This is liberty.
Life and liberty. Yes.
Life and liberty. That is freedom. Freedom of speech and expression. Don't mix that up. So they said that a candidate, the voters have a right to know everything about the candidate. So if they do not know from whom they have received money, how much money they have received, then how? So right to informed voting.
Yes,
So right to know, from that flows right to informed voting.
Yes, sir.
Good. Let me come to one or two economics questions. Have you read the budget? General budget?
So union budget, sir?
General budget? Union budget?
Yes, sir. I have listened the speech and read something.
What are the main features of the union budget?
So the union budget talks about agriculture in its first part, that agriculture needs to be sustainable, and there is going to be huge investments in agriculture and fisheries, and there
What
is
else?
and so
There are some other sectors that the government, some other programs in which government said that we should pay greater attention. Some new schemes were introduced. Must have heard about ELI. ELI, employment generation.
employment. So
For generating employment, they have mooted a new scheme called ELI, Employment Linked Incentive.
okay, sir.
That means if you are a private sector, if you are recruiting somebody, then government will
pay
give an
incentive.
incentive.
Okay, sir.
Skilling, they are
Skilling, yes,
upgrading ITIs.
Also, the skilling through internships and all, government is also
Wonderful,
promoting
wonderful. Then,
that. And in Angel tax also abolished.
what is an angel tax?
Sir, Angel tax was a tax on angel investors that basically invest in startups to give funding to startups and to
Why
nurture it.
they were being taxed?
Sir,
If you can tell me clearly, you will 100% be in the first 10.
Sir, in 2012, UPA government introduced it because of there is a chance of money laundering and black money.
How the money lending being done through angel tax?
Sir, the recent startup bubble also shows that.
No, you tell me, how was angel investment leading to money laundering?
Sir, I think the startup valuation has been inflated by the founders, and there has been.
If the startup valuation is inflated, then they will pay more taxes.
So there
It
was a
is just the
provision.
opposite.
So there is a provision that there is a exemption on startups for 10 years, and through investment they can show the losses and round trip the money to.
Round trip.
Yes.
What does round tripping mean?
Sir, it is basically transferring money from one account to other account through multiple channels into mostly to tax havens, and then bring it.
Look, explain to me how I'm a businessman here in India.
Sir.
You are Mauritius. You are a tax haven.
Yes, sir.
Show me how I'll do tax round tripping.
Sir, you have to send money through various. There are I have read somewhere that they do multiple transactions so that government is unable to track them, and to tax haven, then through tax haven, because there is minimum
See,
tax.
you have to be very clear about all this. You have to be very, very clear about this. What in round tripping, what they do, that supposing I am Ambani, I am making a profit of 50 crores here. Now, if I sow 50 crores in India, then I will be taxed 30% plus the cess.
Yes, sir.
So instead of showing that profit here, I transfer it to a tax haven.
Yes.
In the tax haven, he has to pay maybe 5%, 2%. So the money goes there and the money is taxed at 5%.
Yes.
The rest of the money is sent back to me, to my country. That is called round trip.
Okay, sir.
That means you are making black money white.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
But you are very, very good. Let me tell you, you are very, very good that you could explain that thing. So, have you understood the mechanism?
Yes, sir.
So there are cell companies.
Yes, sir.
तो जो कह रहे थे ना multiple company नहीं. There are cell companies. Cell company का काम है to accept money and to give somebody.
Yes, sir.
They are not doing any commercial business.
Yes, sir.
They are recipients of money. उसको खवराएगा तो उसको पैसे दे देगा.
Yes, sir.
This is what they do.
Yes.
And because it is a cell company, it is in a tax haven, so no action, no deterrent action is.
Taken.
I'll ask you a question which can be answered by somebody who is appearing for the IAS. There is a rule against all this.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me that rule?
So it's a bilateral agreement.
No.
Double taxation.
No. Double tax. So those are not. There is a guideline. There is a income tax guideline. How to control this kind of round tripping. Have you understood the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, it's
That's called GAR.
okay. Sir.
General Anti-Avoidance Act.
Okay, sir.
Wherever you find that this money is being sent to a tax haven in a illegal way. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So when you do that, basically you are trying to avoid taxes in your own country. So through GAR, we can send a notice, say to Ambani,